This is going to be, for a lot of restaurants, that last straw that breaks their back.
A lifelong dream to have his own place hasn't exactly gone as planned for Kent Bergmann behind Campanelle's in Lino Lakes.
The name of the restaurant is nothing more than a noodle. We make those noodles fresh every single morning. It's a Campanelle noodle is what it's called, and it's like baked mac and cheese on steroids. It's baked in a skillet, served in a skillet. It's great, and there's nothing like that around here. Everything's an Italian-influenced American fare, so it's comfort food. It's something I really want to do, something this area could use.
Bergmann is now one of thousands of restaurant owners in Minnesota bracing for new state mandates on employers, including a paid family and medical leave program and a new earned sick and safe time law, after already clearing more hurdles than many can imagine.
We were planning to open on March 23rd of 2020. About a week earlier, we put the signs out saying we're opening next week, and 8 hours later, we were shut down before we could even open. We didn't qualify for any of the PPP. We didn't qualify for any grant money whatsoever. We applied for dozens of different grants. We had to be open by March 31st of the prior year in order to qualify for anything. We were that segment that kind of fell through the cracks and didn't have any kind of support from anybody.
The green light finally came months later to at least get cooking again.
Monday, we got the entire crew here to say we're opening. And when I told them we're opening on Thursday, the entire kitchen staff stood up and walked out. And most of the servers and bartenders we had, with the exception of 4 or 5 that are still here, they stayed. But that's it. They were still collecting unemployment at $600 more a month, and they couldn't make that if they worked here. At this point, we could only open up for takeout only until July. And then they opened up and it was half capacity. And as you can see, we don't have that many seats here. To start half capacity here is 37 people. Trying to get these people to come in here, at that time was the hardest thing, because no one wanted to go out to restaurants because there was so much fear that COVID was spreading through the restaurants. Every other seat at the bar, they had to sit every other person. Didn't see that at Target. You could walk hand in hand at some of the big box stores. They could walk right next to each other. They could take items off the shelf and put it back without worrying about spreading anything. But here, we were under such scrutiny. We had rules and regulations like nobody else. This industry was decimated by the people making these decisions.
According to the Minnesota Department of Employment and Economic Development, hundreds of restaurants permanently closed their doors in 2020. Bergmann points to food prices and a dwindling labor pool as more challenges.
So you've weathered the storm through the pandemic, and now the state of Minnesota has thrown you a new curveball.
Now it's legislative decisions in St. Paul set to deliver what he considers the latest blow through mandated paid family and medical leave.
I know my business here, and it's going to be nothing but a nightmare for us in the restaurant industry. We're working on such small margins the way it is, and to offer sick leave to so many part-time employees, knowing that some will take advantage of it, exploit it, and use it for not what it's intended for, which happens with a lot of programs that are out there. It hurts me financially to offer something like that, because if someone calls in sick at the last minute on a slow day, I have to find someone to take place of that. And now I'm paying 2 people the same wage to do one job to serve the people that are in here.
You felt like you didn't even have a voice in this?
Zero voice. They pushed it through without realizing what they're doing to part of the segment of the service industry that's going to be damaged by this. Anybody who's ever asked for time off here has gotten it. To offer up that much time in a year for 20 people, that's 180 days. If they get 6 days, that's 120 days. That's crazy. And then they can carry over. If they want to carry over, they can have up to 80 hours the next year that they can bank. That's a vacation for some people. So, it's scary that they can push this through like that.
But we all can't move to Florida?
No, we can't. It's expensive. I can't pick this up and go anywhere. I'm locked in. They can say, well, you can go somewhere else and do it, but you can't. You can't. Financially, you can't do it.
It's not that easy.
No, it's not. It's too much here.
You put everything into this?
Everything I have is into this. Everything. And then some.
Bergmann poured $250,000 of his own money into his place to weather the COVID storm. He hasn't taken a paycheck for himself since opening.
What keeps you here?
I love this industry. Been here. The people that are supporting us, the customers, love the customers here. We get the same group of people daily. To be forced to be shut down without any compensation, and now to be forced to put policies in place that I had no voice in, never asked. It's a few people making a decision for hundreds of thousands of people across the state. But instead, they lumped everybody together. Whereas when they do policies during the pandemic, we were singled out. That was easy for them to single us out. But now, we're okay to be part of the group, as long as it benefits them.